Daniel, welcome to Trade Finance Talks. Great
Thank
to
you
have
very
you
much.
on the show. So tell us who you are, what you do, and also why we're here at the Microsoft stand.
Oh, you're going straight for the kill. So who we are? So Anglo Trade Bank is a relatively new kid on the block of corporate banking. We received our Category 1 banking license, which means that we're a full deposit-taking bank just a few months ago. But we've been in the process of building for the last 2.5 years, wanting to build ultimately a disruptor in the corporate banking space, beginning with the beachhead of trade finance. And I can talk much more about exactly how we plan to do that, leveraging all the latest technologies, but really using the opportunity of no legacy, building from scratch to really reimagine the way that we deliver value proposition to our corporate clients.
Yeah, great. So I guess let's take it to the very beginning. Where were the opportunities within the kind of Anglo Gulf or even the MENA region, and why did you choose this region?
Sure. Look, MENA region and the UAE in particular was a no-brainer for us. Why? Because historically it has always been a trade hub, massive, and we see that only growing in the near future as we go, as we see the further development and the crystallization of the One Belt, One Road. So China to Africa, UAE being right in the middle, if not geographically, then tactically. And obviously UAE has been and will continue to be a hub of Asia to Europe, and to an extent vice versa.
Yeah.
So multi-regional trade patterns all centering on the UAE, and with trade as our core focus, as I said, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, and then I guess moving on to digital bank, and you went full
on
to set up the banking license. Tell us a bit more about the journey and also why you went for the Tier 1 banking license to start off with.
Yeah. So why a banking license rather than a platform? As I said at the beginning, we wanted to disrupt corporate banking, beginning with trade finance. I've often said trade finance is fundamentally broken. There's a massive trade finance gap, 1.5 trillion, often gets cited. And we felt that in order to do that, we had to start from scratch. We saw the incumbents trying to transform themselves, trying to do things better, but we also recognized the cost, the length, and the risks of doing that. Digital, because the world is going digital with different speeds and different rates of adoption, but that is the future, obviously. And so we wanted to use the opportunity to take the best-in-class tools that we have, and this goes partly to the question earlier of why Microsoft stand. I'll talk more about that. But we wanted to use the best-in-class tools to enable us to deliver the best possible value proposition. So straight-through processing of trade finance transactions and cash, but let's focus on trade finance, in a way that was not possible a few years ago, but also in a way, most importantly, that allows us to leverage data in a totally different way. As I mentioned to you earlier, use data smarter is one of our internal mottos. We recognize that by gorging on data every minute, we're able to manage risk better, be it counterparty risk, be it market risk, and also make decisions faster, which is crucial to, again, do trade finance in a fundamentally different way.
Yeah. So AGTB, I guess, using data to enable smarter decisions. What products are you offering? Are you catering yourselves more towards the corporates or the smaller businesses?
Absolutely corporates to start with. We, going back to what I said about the $1.5 trillion trade finance gap, anecdotally is disproportionately affecting the smaller companies, the medium and the small size companies trying to participate in international trade. So we knew that underserved sector was where we had to go. But we also recognize that there is a journey to get there effectively. So we wanted to begin with the larger corporates and their supply chain.
Yeah.
The thinking is by working with the supply chain, we get the data, we're able to use data smarter, and we're able to use data-driven decisions and actions to ultimately serve better the smaller guy.
Mm-hmm. So if I am a Dubai-based supplier right now to a larger corporate out there,
come and talk to us.
What exactly can I get off you right now?
So right now we are in the open account, so supply chain financing, payables and receivables in particular. We started with payables as a buyer-centric program. Why? Because that was our MVP, and we wanted to get there as quickly as possible. So for a Dubai-based supplier, if you come to us, we do the onboarding much faster. So digital onboarding, lots of anecdotal stories about months, many months of opening accounts, becoming a client of a bank. So we wanted to scrub that clean and really allow even the smaller companies to enjoy a more or less seamless onboarding process, and then a very seamless digital straight-through processed experience of applying for a invoice discounting and getting an answer and getting money in your bank account. So essentially what you would expect from a retail, a challenger bank in the retail space, that kind of client experience, but in the corporate world.
Okay, and what's the demand been like so far, or what's been the uptake?
Yeah, a lot. So whilst supply chain financing has been around for, say 15, 20 years, the region has seen less of it, even less in the mid-market space, because this has been the privilege of the bigger firms. This, as we know, for an incumbent to set up an SCF program, and particularly on board the smaller corporates, the suppliers, that has been probably the biggest pain point.
Yep.
And that is why we wanted to focus on that as a real differentiator. So the demand has been fantastic, and in fact, we have a very healthy pipeline of clients that are waiting for us to get our license and begin.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess what does the next 6 months look like for AGTB?
So I'm glad you asked for 6 months as opposed to 18, because 18 I'm not sure I could tell you, but the 6 months are going to be very busy. We've launched our payable financing program.
Yep.
We will have launched our receivable financing program, and I don't normally talk about blockchain. I encourage my team not to talk about blockchain too often, but I will mention that our trade finance platform, TradeIX, also supports blockchain Corda, which means that for the larger programs, we will offer our clients to roll out a DLT-enabled solution, which has a number of advantages. But again, it's not the end-all and be-all.
Yeah.
So that's on the trade, and then on the what I call digital transaction services, which is our term of essentially cash management and treasury solutions for larger corporates, as well as banking as a service, the oft overused term for the fintechs that are in the AGGM, as well as some of the smaller clients. So we have these two fundamental legs, MVPs in which AGTB is based: trade and digital transaction services.
Great. Well, look, Daniel, thank you very much for joining us on
Pleasure.
Trade Finance Talks, and really looking forward to following your growth over the next six months to start off with.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to talk to you.
Enjoy the rest of Cyber.
Thank you.